yes, President Obama passing the payroll tax extension should be a no-brainer for Congress. Have a listen.
They need to pass an extension of the payroll tax cut and unemployment insurance, and do it without drama, without delay, without linking it to some ideological side issues. They just need to get it done. It shouldn't be that complicated.
Well, if it's as easy as that, what's the holdup? Joining us now, Republican Congressman Ted Poe of Texas. Congressman, it is wonderful to have you.
Thank you, Lori.
What are your thoughts on extending the payroll tax cut, and is it good policy to do so?
Well, yes, we need to extend them. Of course, we all remember that in the House last year we extended it for a full year, not just the 60 days that the Senate and the President wanted. We still want to extend it for a full year. It is good policy. We need to make sure that we can pay for that extension, but that the House and the Senate needs to do soon.
But it has to be politics too, right? Because as a Republican, the last thing you want in an election year is for the President to point to Congress and say, you guys are unable to get anything done.
Well, sure, it is a political decision as well as a good policy for the United States. The deadlock is really not in the House. The gridlock is between the House and the Senate, where the Senate refuses to vote so often.
And there's also a decisive nature, too. Rich was talking about this in his reporting among Republicans, that Republicans are saying, politics aside, let's get broader tax reform. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we need to do both. Yeah. We need to have the payroll tax extension, but yes, move forward to get some fairness in our tax structure. That is long overdue.
Okay, let's talk about the pipeline bill you introduced. You have 50 or so co-sponsors already on the deal. We know the President already kiboshed this. There's a similar bill, right, from what I understand, in the Senate, too. Is this the best strategy, or why did you come up with this idea to essentially circumvent the President?
The President said no to the pipeline.
Right.
4 years in delay. I mean, 4 years, that's longer than World War II lasted, and we still can't get a decision of something positive from the White House. So I introduced legislation to have Congress approve the pipeline, something that we can do. It is legal. After all, back in the days of the Alaska pipeline, same obstructionists were against it. 4 years later, the Senate and the House passed the Alaska pipeline bill. It was approved, and now we have the Alaska pipeline.
So the pipeline would go right through your district in Houston, as you were telling me here before we came to this show. Yet the President says, well, we want to have more environmental assessment done. This is his reason for denying it. What are your thoughts on the environmental impact of the pipeline? I mean, this is where you live. This is where your constituents are.
There are thousands of miles of pipelines in the United States. You don't hear much about it because, generally speaking, they're safe. This pipeline was tentatively approved by the State Department, and then they backed off for political reasons. Let's approve the pipeline. It will bring in almost as much crude oil as we get from Saudi Arabia. We can make Middle Eastern politics, Middle Eastern oil irrelevant if we deal with Canadians, use our own God-given energy resources in the United States, create jobs, and it all is without taxpayer funding.
You've got to convince the President of this. And an interesting development in recent weeks is this threat of now $4 a gallon gasoline coming to us this spring. So bringing politics back in, it almost behooves the President to sign this, right? Because then he can not be blamed for exorbitant gas prices and still say, hey, it was Congress that put this bill in front of me and they want this overwhelmingly so. So what am I to do to go back to the people who he's trying to appease? Do you follow my point,
sure,
my line
exactly.
of thinking here?
And because, Americans, when the gasoline prices start going higher, they want to blame somebody. In this case, they're saying, well, we could have the pipeline, but the President is saying no to the pipeline. Not only union jobs, but non-union jobs, and lots of related businesses as well. People don't want to pay higher gasoline prices. Let's put people back to work, send that oil to those refineries in Southeast Texas, and be more energy independent. It's in the national interest for us to do that.
Yet you still have a mostly Republican-sponsored bill that the President would ultimately have to sign, and that's quite a challenge.
Sure it is. A President, to my knowledge, hadn't vetoed a bill yet, however. Let's go back to the days of Clinton. The Senate and the House passed the welfare reform legislation twice. Clinton vetoed it. On the third time, he finally signed it, and then he took credit for welfare reform. Look how great I am, welfare reform.
So you'd be happy if the President took credit for this after all?
Sure, he can take credit for it. We don't care. Let's just get that oil going through that pipeline.
I want to ask you about the election itself. The polls today showing that President Obama, if Romney was the GOP candidate, would have almost a 10-point lead. This is the latest poll numbers. And a lot of it is based off of the January jobs number, which showed a surprising improvement, much better than the economists were looking for. The economy overall is showing some signs of improvement, and many people are optimistic about it. And the president is looking to capitalize. And should the president take credit for an improving jobs picture?
Small businesses should take credit for the job growth in the United States. It's still above 8%, but no, I'm glad to see the unemployment go down. If we go to specific numbers, no president has been reelected if the unemployment's higher than 7.2%. So the president has a ways to go. But I commend him for working to bring the more jobs in the United States. There's a whole lot more we can do. Let's pass the 27 jobs bills that the House has sent to the Senate. Get the siesta Senate to vote. And that's one thing that we can do as well.
All right. So of the GOP candidates, who would make the best nominee?
Well, I better not say, because every time I support someone, they all of a sudden jump out of the race. So whoever it is, Republicans will join united and support them over the president, no matter who is at the
You're not making a public endorsement
I'm
quite
not
yet.
making a public endorsement.
Okay.
Probably none of the candidates want me to at this point, but whoever it is, it'll be a good campaign and be ready for the president. But the president will be hard to beat.
That's interesting. All right, Congressman Poe, it's a pleasure. Nice to meet you, and thank you for sharing your outlook and analysis on the way things are right